BMW. Been gone for a long time. And still are, actually. All the models are off sale in the shop. But now we've got a fake BMW. The first of many, I would presume. It's a fake version of, I believe, the F90 M5, I think? Is it F90 or is it F... I'm not good with BMW model numbers these days. There's F82, which is the previous gen M4, and G87, that's the current M2. It's very confusing. It's just a load of letters and numbers. So this is a fake M5. I think it's based on the last generation, which many think to be the last true M5 because the current one is heavy. 2.5 tons. Yeah, people are not happy. BMW started making the M5 back in the 1980s, based on the E12 5 Series. Over time, they got bigger, less discreet, because the original M5, you could barely tell it from a standard 5 Series. But I think the first true different looking M5 compared to the standard 5 Series would be the E60, which had a V10. This one's got a V8, 5 litres I think. Big, but, you know, quite powerful. It's based on the standard M5, not the M5 competition, which means that this is actually a true M5. I don't hold the competition to be a true M5. I believe it to be more of a stripped out sports saloon rather than what the M5 is, which is literally just a pumped up 5 Series, but still has loads of creature comfort. I quite like the M5, but I prefer the older ones. The M5 is also regarded as the birthplace of modern BMW M cars, you know, that we know today. Not the first true M car, which is the E9 3-litre CSL, which I've sat in. Those are very rare. Really, really rare, actually. Those were sort of the starter of BMW's motor racing career. And it's not the M1, because that was just a sort of failure that was actually really good. No, the M5. That's the first modern M car. You could trace back the current M5 to the original M5, and the formula maintains the same. 4 seats, 4 doors, lots of power, and still containing a lot of creature comfort, which is good. Now, I don't think that the M5 was the first, you know, sporty executive saloon, but it was sort of the best sporty executive saloon. For a long time, the M5 was your only option, and even when it wasn't your only option, like around the time the E60 rolled around, it was still the best one. Old M5s were powerful. I mean, the E60 I've mentioned quite a bit was literally had a race car derived V10. This current one's got a V8 and an 8-speed gearbox, which means that when you floor it, acceleration, well, it's alright, but there's too many gears, it's too fiddly. Proper M5s, you know, I would say the last of the classic M5s, the E39, and all of the ones before that, they were nice and simple. After the E60, it then sort of started getting complicated. And this one is really complicated. Too many gears, not enough power. Well, no, there is enough power, but it's being put to waste through too many gears. Yes, this is a thing about torque and gears and whatever. This is boring. Handling's good, however. Like, here's this corner, 170 miles an hour. Didn't even get the line right or turn at the right time. But it turns. It turns really well. That's a good thing, because it makes up for the lack of performance. Now, I will be honest with you, I'm not driving the standard rear-wheel drive one. This one is fully upgraded, including getting an all-wheel drive swap. But even so, this is still an impressive car to drive standard. I'm just driving it tuned because it falls under the 180 mile an hour barrier. Actually really impressive through the corners, so points to it for that. Nice and crisp. Now, on old M5s, it was really easy to burn the back tyres through the corners. They were notoriously easy to slide, which is good because if you're a business executive with an M5, you'll want to have fun because your job's so miserable. What? What just happened? Right, I'm driving it really badly right now. Let's actually try and drift it. Hopefully make up for my incompetence. There, you see? That was really good. I just ended up drifting it quite wide. If we handbrake it in more... There you go! It's really good to drift, actually. I'm having quite a bit of fun here. Just lightly handbrake it in. And you can just slide it through with no problem. It's really good. Nice one. Now, I'm not expecting well, it's going to lose a lot of time on the straights, this thing. I'm looking probably somewhere around a 38, at best. Probably going to end up being more like a 39. But, you know, we'll see. Come on, little not M5. For legal purposes, this is not an M5. Don't want Foxy getting sued. Right. Here we go. Off the line. Power down the straight. Through the chicanes. Oh, got a lift just to keep it on the track. Brakes are good, actually. Too good. I'm finding myself braking too early for the corners, which is good. You know, if the brakes are that good, but, you know, I've got to adjust my own driving style for it. Here we go. Oh. Little bit up the banking. Cut the corner. Power down the straight. 40.2. That's a free car, even if it is tuned. I did a 40.2. Respectable lap time. But here's where it gets complicated, because if you want a nice four-seater for around where the M5 is, there's a whole horde of options. You could have the E63 from Mercedes. This is a car I dailied once. I really liked it. I've got it in rear-wheel drive right now because it's a good slider. Like, look at this. Very mad, but also very fun. There's, in fact, the M5's even on attack from its own brother, the M3. This one's quite ugly, so I don't tend to use it that often. Pretty fun, but lacking a little. There's the Audi RS6, that's not an RS6 for legal reasons. This one's quite slow and also costs Robux, so pretty much out of the question. What else have we got? Oh yes, the M4. To add more complications to this. The M4 is also really quite slow. And costs quite a bit, 130 grand. 3 more than the M3, while being what I would say is slower. But it does make a good slider. Then there's also the S63, the Dodge Charger. Oh wait, you can't get the M3 and the M4, never mind. Also up here there's the Mustang, there's the Dodge Charger Hellcat. And, you know, there's just loads of stuff. So, I have to admit, I would say that if you wanted a sporty four-seater for around the price of the M5, my recommendation is E63. So, thank you for watching. Oof. Nearly spun the E63. E63 is mad, but worth it.